I went from zero musical background to producing multiple songs for Gunna in just under 15 months. Here's exactly how I did it and how you can do it faster. If you don't know who I am, I'm Louis Oblin, or Big Lou. I produce for some of the biggest artists such as Gunna, Tory Lanez, Lil Keed, and more. Right now I'm living in London. I moved here from Australia and I'm traveling all over Europe making music. To even understand how I got my first placement, you need to understand a little bit about my background because I didn't even know I wanted to be a producer. It all started when I finished high school. I went to university back in Sydney, Australia, and I was studying accounting and applied finance. And after around 6 months, I was just like, I don't want to be counting other people's money for the rest of my life. I want to be counting my money. And I always knew I was going to do something bigger. So I got into fashion because I was really into it at the time. I did a ton of shoots for GQ. I even did my own photo shoot here, as you can see here, which was super fun, had a great experience. Then around 2019, everyone knows what happened. COVID happened. So I lost one of my jobs that I had. Also, there was no more styling gigs, so I had nothing really to do. And around that time, I was super heavy into like the Genius breakdowns, the beat breakdowns, Nick Mira, and all that. And that's how I picked up FL because I watched all of them, and I was just like, damn, this is sick. I want to try it. So that brings me onto how I actually got the song with Gunna. So as you can see here, August 2019, I sent a message to my friend. I made my first beat. So during that time, around that area, was when I started producing. And how I actually got the song was, seeing as I had all the time in the world, I just developed it every single day. I started making samples, beats, and all of that. I was just honing in on my craft, working as hard as I can, because I had all the free time in the world. Then around, July 2020, I messaged Kenny Stunton, and I said, hey bro, that beat to walk in is crazy. You snapped on it. I got some loops you might fuck with. Just let me know your email. And so he sent me his email. Then from there, I was starting to send him samples consistently, at least once a week. How I came across Kenny was I would just go through artist pages. I would just find who produced what. And if they were small, I would just message them and then say pretty much the exact same thing to him. Then from there, I think it was one of the first couple of packs that I sent to him, that ended up being Backboard. I know in a couple other packs, I landed Girl in the Mercedes and Sky's the Limit, both unreleased. But this one ended up dropping October 30th, 2020. So that's how I got my first placement. I know it would be a bit different now because everyone and their dog makes samples, and the market is just a lot more saturated nowadays. So what I would do different back then is I would still do the same thing, just go on Genius, find all the smaller producers, but instead of sending a message like that, I would send a voice message. So then people can actually hear that you're a real being and it doesn't sound copy and pasted. Even if you say the same thing to 100 people, you've just got a bit more personality behind just numbers and digits on a screen. So that's pretty much how I got my first major placement in just after 15 months of producing. If you got value from the video and you haven't landed your first placement yet, or you're just trying to land more, I put together everything I used, including my exact strategies, DM templates, networking tracker, plus guide, plus a bunch of other drum kits and samples that you can check out below. Peace.